And we're now joined by Walter Rouse. We ask you please use the raise hand function as question. We'll start with Els.
Hey, Walter, Els Boone with the Stanford Daily. I've got a two-parter. So first, what has been your impression so far of Coach Heffernan in your first summer with him? And then also, who have you seen stepping up to fill the leadership roles in the O-line left by Drew Dahlman and Foster Sorrell?
First off, I think Coach Heff's coming in. I think he's done a great job really trying to get this O-line to a new level than we were last year. Just being more aggressive, more fierce on the O-line, and just throughout the whole practices and in the meetings and whatnot. He really has us on our game. So I think, having Coach Heff is a great addition to Stanford O-line. And one of the things that, he talks about, which really we never really did before, is he wants us to protect and inspire confidence in our players, especially with the running backs, knowing that we have their backs whenever anything goes down, with the run, the pass, anything. So I think he's bringing a lot of great things to this group, and I'm excited to see what's next. In terms for who's filling the gap, Drew and Foster are great guys. I really think, Branson Bragg has done a great job, really stepping up in the leadership position. I really think everyone in the 2023 class has really done a good job. We all came in together, thrown into the fire almost our freshman year, playing a lot of the season when we weren't supposed to. But I think, especially Branson has done a great job, bringing the line together.
Jacob.
Hey, Walter. Well, first of all, A+ social media work. With this offseason as a whole, going back to where guys were physically and mentally at the end of last season and then in their development to now, I'm going to ask for at least 3 guys who you think deserve shout outs for the progress they've made physically and or mentally during that time leading up to now.
I would say first, Miles Hinton. I feel like he already played a few games last year, but he's really poised for a big leap this year, playing in some games. And I think Connor McLaughlin really been improving his game. He was hurt, but you can see his hard work. He's trying to get better and better. And I think someone who's made the most improvement from last year in the same class, I'd say James Pogorels. He's done an amazing job, especially from what he came in as. He's improved his sets, improved in every aspect of his game, and he can go even further than that.
So with James, a guy who is called Pogo for short, does he have any hops?
I haven't really seen him play any basketball or anything like that, but he might have a little bit of a jump. I can't say it's hops like that.
It's a little Pogo. All right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Walter.
Of course.
Janie.
Hi, Walter. Janie McCauley from Associated Press. Nice to see you. How much did you guys grow from going through what you did last year and spending longer stretches on the road as a unit, as a team, where every day maybe presented something different? And how can you take that into this year and know that you can deal with anything, really? Coach Shaw thinks that whatever challenge comes up now, this group can handle it.
Absolutely. I think last year was definitely unprecedented, and we never asked for going on the road, especially for those 5 straight weeks in a hotel, a different hotel every single week. But being in that position with COVID and during the pandemic, it really brought us together as more as a team, and which allowed us to go on that 4-game win streak to end out the year, especially finishing out the game at UCLA. We had our part of our team covenant last year was doing whatever it took. That really became clear when we were sent on the road, couldn't even practice at a high school or on our own campus at Stanford. And they said we had to go to each game each team that we were going to play. We had to practice there, eat meals, sleep, and whatever. Really brought us together as a whole O-line, which I think, not just the O-line, a whole team really brought us together. We were a family before, but I just thought that team right there is a true band of brothers. And then coming in this year with some of the seniors and 5th years leaving, and you got freshmen coming in, are really keeping that that band of brothers, that feeling that we can do anything that comes our way. Anything that anyone throws at us, it doesn't matter. And I feel like even though we went 4-2, people still doubt us into going this year. And that's fine. They can doubt us if they want. we'll let them down. We'll prove them wrong during the year.
And what are sort of the daily looks of the quarterback competition? And is everybody getting, snaps with both guys and a lot of practice with both guys and getting a feel for how both guys might play, or if they both, what they'll contribute?
Yes, man. I think both guys have been getting a good amount of reps, and just hearing their voices and whatnot, just seeing who we're comfortable with, and it's been great for both the guys.
Kyle?
Kind of on that same vein, as far as the difficulties of last year and getting back to some level of normalcy, in terms of the rigors of your academic work, how has it been different this year in comparison to last year? When you're doing everything kind of virtually, has it been difficult getting back into that swing, or has it been, I don't know, maybe easier?
Well, so we're still on Zoom for classes. But going into this school year, we're going to be in person classes. So really, I'm really excited for that. Being on Zoom could have been, fun for the first, quarter or whatnot that we had it. But going into a year and in a month or so after that, being in Zoom, it really just got, just staring at a screen all day, really just brought some people down, brought me down even. So I'm looking very excited for the new school year and actually going to a class, being able to learn. And I'm just so thankful that we also have meetings in person, which is amazing.
And then you mentioned, coming off 4-2, and you still feel like maybe people are kind of overlooking you guys. Why is that? I mean, do you have any sort of insight into why maybe Stanford's been taken for granted, a program that's been consistently winning for a decade?
I think it stems a lot from what happened with our first year, or at least my freshman year, going 4-8. And then, we lost the 2 games to Oregon and then Colorado. And then we ended the year on a great streak. But I think a lot of people think that's just a fluke, and that Stanford, I saw on maybe a couple of Instagram accounts that they said Stanford will never be where they used to be when we won the Pac-12, the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl. We're never going to be at that place again. And I really just think people, especially from my freshman year, and then when they just see us, they're like, "Oh, they had a good game against Washington. That's a fluke. That's not going to happen." And I feel like we could have went 6-0 last year. And honestly, thinking about what other people think about us, it's like it's not really a thought right now. We're just focused on the year and just going 12-0.
We'll head back to Janie.
Sorry, took me a second. Going back to kind of following up, I think I remember Coach Shaw saying that in Bellevue, you guys were on a field where you sunk into the mud and there were ducks on the field. And I know for both the Stanford men's and women's basketball teams, there was a day they were practicing at a high school gym outside of Santa Cruz where the lights were out. I mean, is there a moment from last season that sticks out in your mind, like, okay, this was strange? I mean, one specific moment, I think there was walkthrough in a parking garage too, if I remember correctly.
Absolutely. I would say there was a few of those moments, but I'd say apart from sinking into the mud in Bellevue, when we went to Oregon State, we got up 6 a.m. or whatnot, just clouds rolling over the whole sky, the whole area, couldn't see a thing, and we're lifting literally on the park, like on the side of the road. We got people inside, then we're lifting weights on the side of the road, and I'm just really thinking like, how do we even get to this point? Like, what are we even doing here? But we took what came at us and we dealt with it. And really just like we're working out on the side of the road with cars passing, and you got clouds, can't see a thing. So really, I think at Oregon State in Corvallis, that was one of the moments I was like, man, what is going on here?
Were the townsfolk in Corvallis waving at all the guys in Stanford gear? Were they honking? Were they cheering? Were they?
I would say it was Corvallis, especially in the morning when it was more of a ghost town in terms of we weren't really seeing anybody, but the cold kept us company. So
We got time for this last one. We'll go to Jabril.
Hey, Walter, with you and the rest of the team going to likely be able to get a full season in, a postseason, all of that with fans in the stands, what's the excitement level right now in camp?
Excitement I think is all-time high. This is first year our coming off of last year where we actually have some semblance of a regular camp going into the new season. And I think the intensity, excitement for each day has gone up more and more and more. And I cannot wait to play. If you ask anyone else on this team, they're going to say the same thing. And going back to what I said before, a lot of that excitement also stems from the fact that people doubt us, and we cannot wait to prove them wrong. We cannot wait to just do what Stanford football does. So I would say as a team as a whole, we cannot wait to get on the field. And Coach has said, we have one of the hardest schedules in the country, especially Pac-12. We cannot wait to take on each challenge each and every day, especially with facing Kansas State and Dallas.